Hey, Steve. Look what came in.
Oh my God, look at that. Priority mail.
Yeah.
That was quick. It felt like we just applied for our passports a week ago.
Well, it was about, I think it was mid-November, maybe 3 weeks, but we had to make 3 trips to get
Of course. We have to do 3 trips with most things that we do.
It shouldn't take 3 trips. We filled it out online. Steve filled it out online. And when we went to the post office, the woman there rejected it for 2 reasons. She said it's front and back and it can only be on one side. Now, the 3rd time we went to the library, the woman said she would have made copies. So she gave us the forms and we hand wrote them. And she said not one single mistake. And I think I made one little mistake on mine. So I had to redo the whole form again. That was our 2nd trip. But the first trip, Steve had his certificate of birth, and she rejected that as not a birth certificate, but a certificate of birth.
It's a certificate of live birth.
I'm pretty sure she did.
But not a birth certificate.
Pretty sure she didn't want to work. Certificate of birth, but not a birth certificate. So we actually ordered his original, which still said
Certificate of birth. Yeah.
Pretty sure she didn't want to work. Second time we went in, they said we didn't have an appointment. They just canceled it. So then we drove to the library, waited.
And let me tell you that the library experience was much better than a post office.
Oh, yeah. That woman she was probably 75. She was older, very precise. Must have been an accountant or something in her previous career.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just so much easier at the library where they took our picture, did all the paperwork. And I would really think that that's why we got it so fast.
She even gave us the extra pictures. I'm going to show them right here. She said to me, "Don't smile." And I said, "I always have a problem not smiling."
Right. Sue always smiles.
Steve never smiled in pictures at the beginning of our marriage and when we were dating. Right. And I was always so upset that he didn't smile. But our daughter, when she was born, she also never smiled. Our son took after me. We'd take pictures of him, take him in for professional pictures, and we couldn't pick because everyone was perfect. But our daughter, she never smiled, so I had to start bringing in books and props to where she would look at the book or look to the side or something because she refused to smile.
Yep.
Our grandson is kind of the same way, but he's gotten used to me taking so many pictures. So sometimes it's a forced smile, but I have to use props with him, sometimes a book or something. So it's funny how I think that's in the genes. If you smile or don't, my mother smiled a lot, and I think my father didn't smile as much.
So come on, let's see our license to travel. This is our license to travel out of the country.
Where are we gonna go?
Ooh, I'm thinking maybe Toronto first. That would be nice.
Toronto. Well, I've got a whole list. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we're in our 60s, and this is our first passport ever.
It's sad, isn't it?
Ever.
It's sad.
Well,
life just consumes you, and you got to see.
This is of course.
You got to see this picture.
Why is this our first passport in our 60s? Well, before we were married, 35 years ago, you could actually travel out of the country without a passport. We actually went to Bermuda, and you just needed your birth certificate, and it had to have a raised seal, which mine did not. So I had to take my birth certificate at that time into a notary public and get it notarized. Now, when I tried to get the passport where it was notarized 35 years ago, it had a little hole where she punched the seal.
Right.
And they thought they were going to reject it with that hole. But what's ironic is that raised seal was not from my birth certificate, but was from the notary public. And I did point that out to them because I didn't want it rejected. I didn't want to pay $35 to get another birth certificate like we had to do for Steve.
Right.
And they were handling my birth certificate like it was a museum piece. I think they put on gloves and they were holding it like
well, it is old.
No, I got it when I was 5. My mother got it before I started kindergarten. They didn't get one at birth, and you probably had to pay, so she waited till we were starting kindergarten. There was 8 of us, and they didn't have the money to buy these or order them. So it was not my complete age, which I'm 62, so it's 57 years old, but they were handling it like this, like it's a museum.
They had gloves on.
It was pretty funny.
There was only certain people who could handle it.
And then Steve's, of course, was brand new because he had just ordered it. But okay, so we went to Bermuda 35 years ago. We also went to Canada and Mexico. You didn't need passports until,
Right.
I don't know, in the last 20 years. Because I remember we lived in New York, close to the Canadian border.
Right.
And people went back and forth every day.
Yeah.
And they talked about having to require passports, and they fought it because they're like, this, we'll lose so much trade.
Yeah, we went over the Rainbow Bridge from Buffalo into Ontario.
Well, no, it was some small town. We went to
Right, it's a small town like St. Clair.
It was like a SeaWorld, but what was it called? It wasn't SeaWorld. It was some marine land. Was it marine land?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to Canada. We went to Mexico, and I've been to Virgin Islands. Some of the islands they're not U.S. Virgin Islands on cruises,
you've
and
been to Haiti.
But that Haiti,
it was a lot different back then.
That Haitian island was owned by the cruise ship, or I don't know how that worked out. But the cruise, you didn't need. I don't know today how they do it.
Right.
Because we haven't been on a cruise in years and years. But so I'm saying we did get out of the U.S. a little bit without passports.
Back in the day.
But we have a whole list of places. I mean,
yeah.
Canada is a big one.
It's on our list, but we have other places we want to go to. I'd love to go to Ireland. And
New Zealand,
and
Australia.
New Zealand, Australia, those are nice.
Also Portugal.
Albania.
Also, Germany. I mean, we'd love to go a lot of places. My dad died during the Great Recession, and the last thing he said to me was get a passport on his deathbed, because he knew that I was going to inherit a small amount of money. There's 8 children. So the money he had, and he had pensions. So when you had a pension, you did not save a lot in 401ks because you were depending on your pension. He grew up during, the Great Depression, and, many, many years ago. He was older when I was born. And so he knew that he had basically his house.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the Great Recession, so the value was greatly reduced. And there's 8 of us, plus the fees of settling the estate. But he said, get a passport. He'd hoped that we could travel. He didn't say that directly. He just said, get a passport. And it was implied that the money we would inherit.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Steve lost his job at that time. And our health insurance, pre-Obamacare, was $1,500 a month for us, just us. $1,500 a month. We have 2 children who we tried to put on Georgia Peach Care because we had heard about that for years, and that's what it's designed for when you lose a job. So we applied for Georgia Peach Care. They said you don't make enough money for Georgia Peach Care, and the kids will have to be on Medicaid.
Right.
So they were on Medicaid, and we were $1,500 a month. That ate through our inheritance.
Yeah.
My dad would be devastated to know that we didn't get to travel with the money that he worked his whole life for. We had to pay for health insurance. No doctors. That had a $10,000 deductible in 2008. $10,000 then is what today? $30,000, $40,000. I don't know. But the point is, he would have been shocked to know that his inheritance was just pretty much thrown away. Pretty much just thrown away on health insurance. I mean, it kills me.
Yeah. So we look forward to traveling, and we'll let you know. In fact, maybe we'll do some videos from where we travel.
Well, realistically, we're not going to be able to do a lot of traveling because Steve lost his job in July, directly right after the BBB passed, the big, beautiful bill. He lost it the next workday after that passed, and with his new position, only has not even 2 weeks vacation a year. So realistically, until he retires, I mean, it's a good idea. And if we get the chance to run up to Canada for a couple of days or go down to Mexico for 3 or 4 or 5 days, I mean, that's possible. But Europe and these longer trips, I don't think. I mean, I'd love to take a train trip in Canada. We have a lot of things we'd love to do. We have to balance his time off with our money. And so I mean, even getting the passport was pricey. Altogether, it was $200 with I think it was $165 plus the pictures plus a fee to the library or the organization. I don't know how it broke down. It was roughly $200. So that's $400. So that was a chunk of money. We didn't do it all these years because, like I said, after he lost his job in the Great Recession, our kids were getting ready for college, and we had to get them through college and all that. So finally. Finally, step 1, passports.
Step 1.
Step 2, find a place we can afford to
Step
go
1.
to.
We got step 1 done.
Find a place we can afford to go to and plan a trip.
That's right.
We're getting there.
And don't forget, subscribe, hit notification, and like, and we'll keep you informed.
And one day we'll show you all of our wonderful trips.
Yep.
Until we see you again.
Take it easy.